what's the word? Fluffing, babyless, curls. Hey guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I really hope you're having a really good day today. Today I thought I would show you guys how I curl my hair. I get asked this actually so often, just like, oh my gosh, are your curls natural? Oh my gosh, I love your curls. Gosh, that just sounded like I was just tooting my own horn there. But no, I get asked so often about my hair and how I curl it and all those kind of things, so I thought I would show you guys how I do that. It's so simple and so easy. So yeah, let's get into it. So starting off, I always section up the top half. Because my hair is like, I don't know, I feel like it's kind of middle length now, but because it is on like that kind of awkwardy length, and also I'd say for short hair, I do feel like you really do need to section off hair. I think when my hair is longer, I don't as often section off my hair, just because it's easier to reach the underneath pieces because they are so long. But with short hair, the underneath sections just kind of just fall out and they're kind of harder to get to. So I would suggest doing that. So I washed my hair last night. I gave it a really kind of quick brief like blow dry, just to kind of, what's the word? There is actually a particular reason why I always make sure I blow dry my hair a little bit. With blonde hair, blow drying it just makes it look blonder. I don't know what it is. I don't know if there's actual science to it or something like that, but I always blow dry my hair at least a little bit up the top, just to make it look blonder. I don't know. Please tell me if that's not just me. I think that's just like a general thing with blonde hair. I just think it looks darker when you just leave it naturally to dry. At the moment, I've been starting to use a slightly like nicer shampoo. Like there's literally times that I use like Lidl shampoo. I'm not even kidding. Yeah. So at the moment though, I have started to use the John Frieda, a mixture between the purple shampoo and the Go Blonder shampoo, because I did not have any sun this summer to blonde up my hair. Like I literally live between, like, for each summer to blonde up my hair and then survive me through the winter, and then it gets blonder again the next summer. So I did not have that this year, obviously, because we were, well, in lockdown. So I did not, yeah, so I've been using that to try kind of encourage it to stay blonde. So I'm going to be using this curling wand, which is, no, sorry, it's actually called the waving wand. It's by Cloud9. They have 3 different sizes. They have the waving wand, which is this one, which is like Mahusive. It actually literally just looks like something that's I shouldn't have on the internet, you know what I mean. But yeah, this is called the waving wand, and there's the curling wand, and then there's also the texture one that they have. So this is the biggest one, and then there's the curling one smaller, and then the texture one's even smaller. I really like them. I got it for Christmas actually, and at first my hair was, at that time my hair is a lot shorter, and actually did not work for that. You need to have at least medium length hair for this to even work, because obviously with short hair, by the time it like wraps around the whole barrel, there's no hair left, and so you just kind of have like a, does that make sense? It's just like a, as opposed to like a curl or a wave. So yeah, I would suggest that. So, but since my hair has got a little bit longer and it's kind of more medium length, it's been perfect, and I absolutely love it. So yeah, usually I kind of start on whichever side. I always curl away from my face. Always. I don't know why per se, I just think it looks better. I just think it looks more flattering on the face, just curling away. I kind of usually hold it on for a couple seconds. I usually have my curler on high, but I actually decided, I burned my neck recently quite badly, so I decided to try it on medium. Medium. Actually, I'm so annoyed that I say that now. It's like the country way of saying medium. Medium. Anyway, also another thing I do is I always try to keep the hair flat. So let me try to explain that to you. So like, I don't twist it when it comes around. I keep it flat on the barrel. If you twist it like that, it's completely fine. It gives it slightly more of a, so like when it curls, it doesn't ringlet the same way, which is also completely grand. I just don't think it leaves the end result looking the same, if that makes sense. So yeah, so I kind of just do that for all the underneath bits. I find at times I try to curl this side with my left hand, but again, because I burnt my neck quite badly recently, I've got a little bit more, I suppose I've lost a bit of confidence with it, just because, yeah, it was pretty bad, like, but I try to sometimes curl this side with my left hand just because of the angle that you curl with. I find that the two different sides look different, like the curls. But yeah, I'm not feeling too confident. My left hand's definitely worse than my right hand, so it's not really something that I always jump at doing. But if you are more confident with it, I would suggest it, because I do feel like, so obviously you can see the angle I'm holding this at with my right hand on my right side is very different to the angle I'm holding it at on my left side, because I'm stretching over my head. But I will try to do it for the top level, just because obviously the risk of burning my neck is slightly lower. But yeah, anyway, I'm just going to do the rest of the bottom layer. Okay, so I do usually kind of encourage the twist and kind of twist them in. Also, one thing I had to say, unless you are someone who holds curl like amazingly well, like you literally go like this and it curls, I'd say always leave them in, just let them cool down. And if you're someone whose hair doesn't hold curl at all, another thing you could do would be to kind of hold it up the ringlet and clip it up onto the head, just to really like lock in those curls. But I'm someone who holds curl quite nicely and fairly easily, which is really, really nice. So I tend to just leave them in, and then kind of after they're all cooled, I will brush them out. So I'm gonna try show you how I do with my left hand on my left side. I do think it is a little bit more awkward. I find the front piece is always the easiest to do with the left hand, just because of the angle. But I find once I get past the front piece, it is really difficult. I don't know why. I don't know if it's just I'm just not used to that angle or what it is, but I just find I end up like burning my face. Gosh, I would forget how hot I get when I do my hair. You have this big like radiator just basically on your head. There we go. Oh, that actually worked out quite nicely. So obviously after I do all of it, I then obviously brush it. Well, I don't actually brush it out. I comb it out with my fingers. I'm going to go back to my right for the back, because it's so much harder doing the back with my left hand. So yeah, I always comb it out with my fingers just to give it, just so, because I feel like when you brush it, it does this kind of like fluffing. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense, but it like poofs it more, as opposed to just kind of de-curls it. Does that make sense? That would be my top tip there. Oh, that was a kind of a weird one. Kind of higher than usual. Oh gosh, I just touched it. Oh, that was kind of sore. Okay, right, so we have all of our curls done. Gosh, it is so warm in here. I am literally sweating. So one thing I always do is I make sure it's cooled completely, because usually if you pull it out too soon, especially if you're not someone who can hold curl, it's just gonna fall out so fast. I can still feel that it's quite warm, so I'm gonna leave it a little bit longer. So I would sometimes hairspray. It would kind of depend on firstly when I'm doing my hair. So if I'm doing my hair right at the beginning of the day and I have a really long day, so like I'm going to work and then I'm going out later and I'm going for dinner or whatever, I'll hairspray just to make sure that it kind of stays in for the day. But I also quite like the falling out, like as it falls out, and it almost becomes like just a really like simple natural wave, like super like almost non-existent in a way. I really like that as well, so I don't really mind as it falls out. I know some people really like to have it exactly how it was though when it was done, so then I would suggest putting in a bit of hairspray. So yeah, I think we're kind of that side's a bit warmer, so I'm going to start this. So I just start by literally just going from underneath, because obviously those bits are a bit colder and a bit more set in, and just going with my fingers and just pulling it out, just pulling out those ringlets. Like the ringlets are pretty, but they're just not really what we're wanting, you know. So yeah, just pull them out. Obviously with short hair, the underneath bits, like look at that, how average is that? With short hair, it's really difficult to get those underneath bits doing anything really at all. So I tend to kind of just make sure there's a little bit of a kink in them. I sometimes go in then with the straightener. So this is my, what is it called? It is the Babyliss. Is that how you say it? I actually don't know. Is it Babyliss? Is it Babyliss. It's a Babyliss 3Q. It's good. I kind of got it in like a pharmacy like maybe 3 years ago or something. Like it wasn't some fancy purchase. I'm pretty sure it was on sale, but it's done me well. I probably would at some point maybe get like a GHD or something. So yeah, I sometimes kind of just go in with a straightener and curl because it's a little bit easier to get into those little pieces underneath with the straightener, because obviously you're a bit more protected than with the curler. So I'm just gonna pull out this side and just pull her out. You can see it kind of holds that ringlet quite strongly, but that's not really necessarily what I like. I like when it's like really, really natural. So one thing again with shorter hair, I find a lot of the time it's quite kind of almost poofy at the bottom. Does that make sense? Whereas I think it looking a bit straighter at the bottom with the length of my hair is a lot nicer. So another thing I would do is I kind of go back with a straightener and just straighten just the tips. And not like perfectly. And sometimes I would redo some of these curls when they're doing weird things. And it's not like a perfect thing, they don't have to be perfectly straight. But I just like, I think it just looks a bit more sleek. I don't know, maybe it's not a huge difference to it, but I just think it just looks better, in my opinion. I just think it gives that more kind of natural, kind of beachy. See again, I'm not even sure if it's beachy. I think it's kind of beachy. I'm not sure. I think beachy is such a wide variety of styles, because I think beachy can be real mermaidy, but then it can also be quite big natural waves. So I had to get a big natural waves. Beachy. That's kind of what I do, just do that. I sometimes would then put in a bit of hairspray or something just to give a bit of texture to it. But I actually left it in the other room, so I'm not going to. But yeah, that's kind of the finished look. I really, really hope you enjoyed. What do you think? I love doing this look. It's just so simple. Another thing with it is, well, with me anyway, with just my hair type, this kind of hairstyle I would do one day, like the first day, say after I wash my hair, and it would last until the end of the next day, and I wouldn't have to do my hair basically at all the second day. Sometimes I might have to like add a little extra curl to the back somewhere if it's got flat when I'm sleeping, but overall I can just leave it and it just stays. Obviously it doesn't stay exactly like this because obviously it naturally starts to fall out, but it kind of always keeps that bit of a wave and it just looks really natural and relaxed, and oh, I really like this hairstyle. But yeah, let me know what you think down in the comments. If you are new here and like this video, I'd love if you could subscribe, join the family, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye!